So this is part 2 of the video I'm talking about with Kurtis Anderson. Like I said, I wish these young men the best because there was a time when black fighters didn't get those opportunities. Here you have 2 young men, very talented, undefeated. Both men had titles. Earl Spence is the only welterweight in the 3-belt era who would independently collect these titles and then fight for a 4th title, as he's lineal, is what he is, as undisputed crown. Terrence Crawford was the first fighter to become a 2-weight division 4-belt holder. That's what was on the line. Both these men will be in the Hall of Fame. Crawford as a first ballot. Spence should go in as a first ballot as well. But if he doesn't, that's fine. But he should. And like I said, Earl Spence is an outstanding fighter. He is a really, really, really outstanding fighter. And I will be talking about these young men when they retire on a historical level. And I want nothing but the best for Earl Spence. There's nobody else going to beat Earl Spence. It's just that right now, he doesn't need to go through that anymore. He does it, that's on him. And again, I will support anything that these fighters do because I knew where these fighters came from historically. And they didn't get the opportunities that they so justly deserve. And now when I see them get these shots, I am so proud and so happy that we've come a long way. Kurtis Anderson and Stormy B, as we were doing the shows of the 3 Wise Men, we would have these weekly meetings every Wednesday between, I think it was 11 and 12 o'clock. And Stormy had things set up. And Kurtis and I had our inputs, whether we felt that show was something that we wanted to do on because we started out on a Saturday and we had a half an hour show. We turned it into an hour show because we didn't want to infringe on other platforms' time. So then Stormy was sensitive enough to a circumstance that I had. I couldn't do that time slot anymore. So we agreed to do it during the week. It was on a Thursday. And so we were able to get 2 hours in. And we wanted to share our information. Kurtis Anderson knew boxing. He can talk about boxing from 1700s to current. I showed Kurtis personally my collection. Took the phone and I showed him my collection. He couldn't believe what he was looking at. The magazines, the scrapbooks, the posters, the autographs, the boxing cards. It was overwhelming for him. He just couldn't believe, he didn't understand it. And I said, Kurtis, you understand it because you and I started this boxing thing at the same time. And what's funny is that we both used to be in, I guess it was 2nd grade, and we had Ring magazines when everybody else had comic books, baseball cards, Mad magazines. That was probably 3rd or 4th grade. We had Ring magazines. And in my case, my teacher took the magazine and brought it to the principal's office because she felt that boxing for a 7-year-old was not appropriate. My father came to the school and said, no, I'm getting him to read it. And if this is what's going to get him interested in reading, then he keeps this, because you get an hour to read and so on and so forth. And Kurtis shared that same story with me. He said, that happened to me also. And we laughed. And so Kurtis Anderson is a very special person. And what people don't know, Stormy knows this, is the referee for that fight with Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. His name is Harvey Dock from New Jersey. They used to go to Club Zanzibar together. Kurtis knows Harvey Dock. He knows Harry. He knows a lot of people. He's well connected with Kurtis Anderson. And if he could have seen that fight with his good friend Harvey Dock refereeing that match, that would have really brought chills to his spine. He never got a chance to see it. But Kurtis Anderson, my brother, our predictions were correct. And it couldn't happen to two blessed fighters. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford. We're very proud of those men. Stormy B-Man and I just spoke the other day about how proud we are about that fight with Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. However it goes, it goes. But these two men got the opportunity to create legacy. And that's what should be most celebrated. So I want to shout out my brother Kurtis Anderson. Shout out to Trey X, who gave him Kurt Sugar, gave him the name, gave him a platform. Stormy B-Man, who created that show and gave us both an opportunity to express our dreams about talking boxing on a historical platform. I'll never forget that. To this day, Stormy B-Man checks up on me on a regular, make sure I'm fine. He was there for me when I was under bad circumstances, medically. And I'll never forget that. That's a true brother, Stormy B-Man. Shout out to Hardline Boxing. He called it that for Crawford as well. Shout out to Lala D. Shout out to Blood Boxing. I want to shout out to Blue Blood Sports. Took care of my brother Kurtis on the show. And I want to shout out to Kurtis's family. Kurt Anderson Jr. If he ever needs any boxing advice, I understand he wants to take up boxing. I am available to him. And I'm sure Stormy would give him wisdom as well. I want to thank you for listening. Shout out Kurtis Anderson. I'm Scrapbook Boxing, the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff series. All Greek fights, all Greek fighters. Would never be forgotten on my channel. Peace.